And today I'm gonna be talking about the 100. Let me see here. Okay, let me go into I'm gonna be giving you guys. Let me see 100 things that people notice when a Pisces finally lets loose, and I'm gonna talk about the truth that nobody talks about. Now, everybody swears that Pisces are shy until they finally feel comfortable. See, once a Pisces feel comfortable, then the rest is history. So folks be like, they'll say something different. They'll change their perspective about Pisces once a Pisces feels comfortable. But it's crazy because once a Pisces feels shy, they're saying something completely different. Now, here's the thing though, what version of you been hiding? See, because different versions come out of Pisces depending on what they're doing. When they're being shy or when they're drunk, partying, or just being comfortable, just being merely comfortable to the point where have a different version. See, and everybody gets a different version pertaining to how that Pisces is. So if they're shy, you're gonna get a whole nother version. So you can explain that to someone else, and then they'll say, "Oh, this person is so shy, they're too quiet," and whoop de whoop de woo. So that's one thing. Now, I'm gonna break it down for y'all because when a Pisces let their guard down, then they tend to show a different side. Okay, so one thing about it, when a Pisces let loose, they stop overthinking. See, sometimes people say that too much drinking is bad, obviously, but sometimes when a Pisces drink, this could be a form of healing for a Pisces because of one thing. Now, think of it like a situation where, like I say, the Pisces stop overthinking just by drinking. See, just how relaxed you could be to you know, just to alleviate the whole overthinking phase. So sometimes a Pisces can spend so much time thinking about everybody else, and then they end up holding themselves back. Then when they finally relax, then people see a side that was always there. But it's crazy because depending on how the Pisces feel will determine what version you get. I have to say that because let's just say a Pisces just start to joke, laugh, and then, they're talking way more than usual, then bam, what happened? What transpired? Why such a drastic change? Because they feel comfortable. So when it comes to a Pisces feeling more comfortable, it can reduce the self-consciousness. So it's like, what's going on? I mean, because it's late. It's like 3 in the morning, so this is not my normal time to go live. I just wanted to, talk to you guys. So the crazy thing about me, I just got off of work, so I just did 2 double shifts. I've been at work since 7 a.m. You guys, 7 a.m. I'm just now getting off at 2:30 a.m. Appreciate the gift. Let me see. Appreciate the flow state. Yeah, so it's like I'm just like I'm not even tired, bro. It's just frustrating because a lot of stuff been going on, and how can I say it? I've been drinking Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew all day. Probably got too much of that crap in my system. So that's all you can really, that's all you can do. So what I did was so half the day I did my little, ordinary grocery shopping. Then I did Uber Eats. And this is crazy. One thing about Uber Eats, y'all say this really quick, is like you could spend if you do Uber Eats straight, like I'm talking about just do 3 hours straight, then look at how much, look at the situation. You'd be like, damn, that time went like that. But I ain't gonna lie, doing it at night is a lot better. But in my state, yeah, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. It doesn't feel like much because when you got bills, you got family to feed, you just gotta do what you gotta do, man. And even though man, I ain't gonna lie, I was tired. I was tired earlier, and and I ain't gonna lie, man. The customers today, one thing with us Pisces is like we don't mind helping, people and giving people, our best efforts. But like sometimes, like I say this, like it was a situation today that kind of was just weird because I helped the lady, I did her grocery shopping, I delivered her groceries to her, and mind you, was no parking. She didn't even hold the door open for me. And then she had the audacity to tell me, she's like, "Oh, you ain't gonna take my groceries to my door?" I looked at her and I gave her that Pisces illusion. I gave her the Pisces stare down with the silence. I just looked at her like, and then she said, "Oh no, that's okay. Don't even worry about it." And then that's what I did was I drew the illusion. I said, "Do you need help?" And then she said, "No, no, I got it. Don't even worry about it." But I'm like, come on, man, you got a huge 24-pack case of waters, the tall ones, and not the 20-ounce ones, the bigger ones. I'm like, come on, you got a ton of stuff talking about, big items, in other words, no parking. She didn't hold the door open for me. And mind you, the stairs, like, even if I had a wagon, it still would have been just a shit show. So basically having to run that stuff up that freaking hill, and it was a huge police presence around the whole damn building. And then when she looked at me, she had an empty clothes basket. So I'm thinking like, oh, she's gonna help. Nope. She was like, oh, so is that all of it? I said, no, I gotta go grab the water. But I looked at her like, damn, you ain't gonna grab, like, you're not gonna like help me carry this shit up in the house, because she lived in an apartment building, so like a huge apartment complex, you guys. So it was just like the lady. I didn't understand, why did you need me to help? Because I ain't got, as Pisces, I'm gonna say one thing. As Pisces have a habit of saying something slick, but it's not like we don't see it at we don't see it as being slick. We see it as being um related to common sense. Like, so in my eyes, I'm like, I know you have children, or maybe not, maybe you don't. But in my mind, like, so you don't have a man, somebody, in your home, you don't have a man, or, woo to carry your groceries to your door. In my mind, I'm like, why does she want me to bring all the groceries to her door? And I'm like, did she just wants me to work harder? Because I feel like, what reward? And then she had her toes out, which she did have a little, nice little pedicure or whatever, but that's besides the point. It was just, to me, like, you just trying to show your feet off. I don't understand why you want me to carry this stuff, and you see me sweating. And the craziest thing is when you tired and then you try to act like you're not, and then you're like, you know what, I'm tired. Cause this is just like, I ain't gonna lie, today it was weird because this old man, he did the same thing. And he just had to bring my stuff all the way up the third floor. And I pulled up no park in the same situation. Mine dragged like 9 bags of groceries on me. I'm like, dude, carrying this stuff around, like, just huffing and puffing. And I'm like, yo, when does this end, bro? No shopping cart. And I'm like this close to just dropping his shit on the floor and saying F this. But I'm like, I'm glad I didn't. But it's crazy because you could get to a situation, because I'm like, yo, could you imagine you got a whole freaking trunk full of groceries and they're like, yo, bring it all up to put the intercom 55652, and then bring it up to the third floor. I'll be on your right. But when you go in there, everything's all confusing. It's not like it's easy, to do. So anyway, I just went in there and just gave it to him. Then this is the funny thing. I'm thinking he gonna tell me to just set the stuff at the damn, the door. This man's like, yo, could you bring it in and put it on my table? I'm like, man, where? I said, sure, sure, no problem. Put it on his desk, like, yo, what the heck? In my mind, see, I believe this. The boundaries, see, the boundaries is that if you deliver my food, you can't come in my house. I will get the groceries. Let's leave the shit at the door and thank you very much. But I don't want you roaming around my house, coming in my house. This is certain little things with, us Pisces. We just have our own privacy space. We don't want you coming in the crib. None of that. But some people are like, come on in, put it on the table, and they want to, small talk you and chat you up. And it's like, I was just like, yo. And then it's like, to me, that is just more of it's problematic. It's to the point where when you make things difficult for other people, then you end up getting things, unwanted problems. Because if you tell a man that, let's say a delivery guy comes, you got somebody doing yard work or you got somebody doing, your roof, and you got contractors all throughout your yard. You're like, yo, put the groceries next to the palm tree on your right where the cooler is, and I hope everything fits. Let me know if you have any problems. Like, dude, I'm not finna go looking around your damn yard for no damn palm tree or no, for example. But Pisces are creative, so they're gonna find their own way, even if they'll make it seem like, yeah, I'm listening to you, and yeah, okay, thank you very much, but I'm still gonna do it my way. I'm still gonna be a rebellious, you know, not like we're doing it in a malicious way. It's just whatever makes things easier. Okay, so let me see. Somebody said Divine Earth Angel said I was asleep. Is somebody coming to my dream, want me to get up? Are you coming back? Damn. Yeah, I just I don't know. It's just a lot of weird stuff been kicking off all week, you guys. But like I will say hmm, haven't had any issues with any signs in particular, but I had a situation with a Sagittarius. So now I know, shout out to all my fellow all signs that's in the chat. But the craziest thing is that what I was gonna say about Sag. So have you ever had a conversation with a Sagittarius and didn't really know if they really wanted to talk to you or just, have a conversation with you was, about whatever? And you feel like, have y'all ever be for Pisces out there in particular, have you ever talked to someone about something? Let's just say you were just, merely just chatting and whatnot, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're bothering someone when you're speaking to them because they're not giving you any type of feedback. They're not asking any questions. They're not adding on to whatever. They're not, to the point you feel like you're doing all the talking. Am I the only one? Come on, man. Who said people say, okay, so y'all okay, appreciate that, Misty. I appreciate that. Let me see. You say you got to balance the good with the bad. Facts. Yeah, it's the good with the bad, but it's like what I try to do, and I say this is what tends to help me. I've learned to not overthink shit. Appreciate the happy poop gift, Misty. What I say works for me is I used to be the type of person as a Pisces, I used to overthink shit like crazy to where I used to make myself anxious. I used to make myself depressed. I used to make myself just worry, and just couldn't snap out of that overthinking process. But then when I just stopped thinking And I only think when it's necessary that helped me, and it could possibly help any of you that's struggling with the same thing. Cause man, like it happened tonight. So I had to do a Uber E order. And mind you, in the city that I live in, Milwaukee, is so freaking like downtown Milwaukee. It's like these people, it's like New York City downtown Milwaukee. In other words, these people don't go to sleep. I'm talking about in the morning, these people are just, they're walking around like they have nothing to do. You got people that literally are just sitting on the curbs, just looking like out there into the, middle of nowhere, just stoned. Like, and they all look like just little weird zombie. They're like zombified. When you drive downtown Milwaukee, it's like folks is just like you hear folks talking to themselves. The weird looks. It's just weird. And one dude today, he was riding one of those mobile scooters. He literally fell right off of the damn scooter trying to just step on it, and he literally just boom hit the ground. It's just weird stuff just happens, bro, downtown Milwaukee. So I get the order, and all it's just a whole huge crowd of people just there in front of the restaurant that I have to get the order from. Now, as Pisces, we don't like crowds because we can feel every single energy that's coming from the crowd. So I'm like, yo, it's a crowd. And then next thing you know, I tried to call the restaurant like, yo, is such and such order ready? Let me know. I am not trying to sit there and wait where all those crowd of people were. So I said, you know what? You're just, I'm speaking to my own self. I'm like, you just overthinking, bro. Just go get the damn order and then it'll be done. Next thing you know, as I'm walking, I notice eyes and people heads are just turning towards me like, oh, and mind you, all the people that were sitting there waiting to, eat it. The name of the restaurant is called Chopsticks. I don't know if you guys have one in your city. Next thing you know, these people literally just looked at me and they all just high and just stone eyes are just like, bugged out. And then I'm like, they're literally blocking the damn entrance to where that's just how huge the crowd was, as if it was a festival. I'm like, yo, how many of you are ordering food and how many of you just are just loitering, just hanging out here, in other words. So what I've learned is to do the football where you literally just bogart your way through a crowd to where, hey man, I need to get in the damn restaurant. It's obvious somebody has to get through you guys to get into the goddamn restaurant. So that's all I'm saying. It's frustrating that you have to literally, wear football pads just to get to the damn door and get the order and get the hell out. So I'm literally just like I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna cut my path just because there's a crowd in my way. I'm the type of person I get more aggressive, more in a crash out type of vibe or mood because it's annoying to sit there and say, could you please like or just excuse me, which is obvious that you're blocking the door. So I would rather just bogart my way straight to the damn entrance. So that's what I did. And when I just bolted through the damn door, through that crowd, and I just got straight up to the damn, the guy that worked there was making the food. I'm like, yo, I got an order for such and such. And then before you know it, as soon as I walked in, all these people ended up leaving. But it's like that the crowd situation is a trigger for, I believe, for Pisces it is. I believe that crowds is a trigger for Pisces because for me it causes anxiety. It's like through the roof because you don't know. See, anytime there's a huge crowd of folks, you don't know like what's going on. Why is there so many people? And then you got to get through one door, and it's like no way for you to easily just get through that door. And I'm talking about it got to the point where My legs, like just me literally walking up the damn stairs, I'm literally like my legs are shaky because that's just how many people it is like, everywhere. And then I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, yo, I ain't feeling this at all. Like, I don't like this downtown area. I don't even come down here like that. So it's just to me, I feel like with us Pisces, we're not going to be afraid to get something, let's say it's a long ass line to get GTA 6, or just say it's a big, huge situation. How would you handle it? I never really liked crowds. And I remember where that trigger came from because, like I say, I went to a festival, Summerfest, and there was also another festival, Juneteenth. And I remember, like, it was me and a couple of my relatives. We're literally walking, and we didn't even know where we were going because it's just a bunch of people. I'm talking about if you look left, you look right, there's a face there to where these people just walking around. I'm like, yo, to me, it doesn't feel. You could just feel like something gonna jump off. It's just that it gives you that type of feeling, but you don't know when, where, how it's gonna happen. But you can feel it's too many people. See, so something's bound to happen, and maybe not. But like I say, it's a trigger. So let me see. Let me see. Welcome from India. Be creative. Welcome. Don't forget to hit that like button as well. Subscribe if you haven't, and I would appreciate it. Let me see. But yeah, so yeah, the festivals. I like going to the see Tender. Yeah, I like going to the small festivals. I feel like it's just a little bit more comfortable for a Pisces to be in, or just to be uh for you to be able to just enjoy a situation versus being, uncomfortable to where you can't move. And this is the craziest thing. Now, it's a difference, pertaining to the rising sign that you have, also your moon sign plays a part because when I went to Applebee's to pick up an order, and this happened like an hour ago, man, tell me why. As soon as I'm literally calm. I'm talking about whole demeanor, just calm. I had been driving for a minute. Next thing you know, I go inside of the Applebee's. The dude is coming out and he's angry and he's mad because he's like, the service was just terrible. They haven't even got their food and they have been waiting over an hour. So he comes out and he's like, yo, he was like, man, don't go in there, man. He's just off the chain. And it was like, I'm talking about his head was like right here in my face, screaming and yelling. And I'm like, dude. And I literally like looked at him like, oh shit, my eyes had watered a little bit because I'm like, what? Like, I wasn't expecting nobody to come out screaming and yelling. And mind you, we in the boonies. I'm in the boonies. This ain't no like hood area, nothing. So dude come out there screaming like that. I'm like, what the hell going on? But it's crazy because why did he come to me out of everybody in the damn Applebee's? You gonna come to me with that anger shit to where this ain't the first rodeo. This ain't the first time it's happened, but it's like, damn, dude, you put it like this. Sometimes you could feel like certain things will try to force you to become, to be uncomfortable. And that you're not uncomfortable, but you could tell that things are trying to push you into that mood or push you into fear. But it's like, you're not fearful. It's like, even after he got in my face, I told him, I said, well, shit, I'm not even here to eat. I'm getting the order, and kept it moving, So it's like, to me, it's just his whole demeanor. He didn't hold the door open. He literally bolted out, and he literally just like got in my face to where he didn't even like, he was yelling and just yelling. I'm like, damn. In my mind, I'm like, damn, do it really is really gotta be that way for some people to be screaming and yelling because of service? Yell at them, don't yell at me. Like, damn, I'm on my way in, So, it's crazy. Let me see. No, I never been to Renaissance festival. What's that? Um, Yeah, so let me see. Yeah, I think crowds is too much energy, bro. That's the problem. It's too much energy that it causes. You know that it takes a crowd to start chaos. First of all, now I don't know if you guys remember back when the whole corona, what is it? Yeah, COVID. I almost yeah. COVID was around, then we had the shutdown, and then they were doing the people were rioting and they were doing the what do they call it? I forget, me trying to remember what the name of it is, but they were rioting, they were just walking around, destroying things, and it's just like in that type of situation, that's why I said it takes a crowd to start chaos because in my city during the COVID times, these people were literally blocking traffic, destroying stores, and literally looting, walking in. They broke the damn entry door to Walmart and went in there and stole all kind of shit, and they was just destroying everything. Do they even blew up gas stations, all kind of stuff. So it was during the time with the COVID situation and with the whole presidential whoop de whoop de whoop. So in my mind, it's like if all it takes is more than what three people to start, chaos to the point where as Pisces, we are placed in these situations, and then it's like, oh, we can balance it out and possibly, dissolve it. So the problem is that everything usually plays out how you play it. See, because if you react to it, then your reaction is energy. So if you react to something, then it makes it worse. It makes it worse for you, for your experience. But if you handle it in a more controlled way to where, okay, I see all this going on, but I'm not going to believe it, in other words, because I believe that you can change an outcome, you can change a situation based off of how you see it, how you receive it, how you accept what you're, dealing with. Like me, I realized that I was overthinking. When I pulled up, I was just thinking about the parking spot because no parking where I was parked and all these little things. But it's like, that's me thinking. And that's me thinking about, oh, the worst case scenario. But if I think for, what's necessary where I got to go in the this crowded space and grab this order, that's why I said it requires a strategy. See? So the strategy could be, okay, let me call the store and see if the order is ready. Then I'll know exactly when to get out the car and go to the door. See? Then another thing I've learned is crowd control. Now, crowd control, when there's a crowd, then you have to control the crowd. So instead of you avoiding the crowd, you control the crowd. So what it is you can say, uh, yo, there's people trying to get into the door. Can you guys just move to the side so people could get in and get the food so we don't bump into each other? You could, even if no one's coming, it's just you do this because you're basically getting everybody gathered up and you're moving them because you see that it's an inconvenience for you to have this all these people have to say excuse me. You basically making it seem like it's more than one of you. See, you're like, oh, there's people coming and they're gonna need to get through. So can you guys move to the side? So I've learned this strategy to deal with, crowds because the one thing is why they trigger most Pisces because you see it as a threat. See? But if you look at the threat as small and you look at the threat as even though even though to your eyes it's like a huge crowd, but you have to treat it like it's a small crowd. You gotta see. I've learned that you gotta trick your mind into seeing the situation and change your perspective because obviously, if you're reacting to it, you could overreact to something that's not even like nothing has happened yet. But you could be thinking it and experiencing it before it happens because you've already believed it will happen. That's why I'm like, yo, you got to be careful with how you look at things. Now, I would say that another thing is leaving a bad situation ahead of time. See, because that's another known one, and it's like whenever you think something is about to spoil, it could be a friendship, relationship. You notice it ain't going nowhere. End it, fam. Don't wait till it ends. It's like you can end it and save yourself some time and some space. But if you just let it ride out until it ends, then it's gonna waste your time and you just gonna be more frustrated to deal with. Um, Let me see. Yeah, it's all it's always strategy when it comes to surviving in this world because fear, fear is gonna hold you back because of the reaction. Whenever you feel threatened, it's gonna make you, back up. It's gonna make you stop in your tracks to where you can't get anything done, you can't move forward, and you can't think, straight. You can't think clearly. So that's why I say like you gotta, have that self-control, that self-awareness, and you wanna be aware of what's going on, but not, overly occupied with one thing or just something to have your mind or focus on totally to where you just forget why you were even there. And then it's another core principle with, when it comes to you making money, it's, scared money doesn't make any money. That's one of the ones I like to go with because when I'm gonna tell you, fear, it can be this small or it can be this big. And you have the slightest, I'm talking about a mustard seed size of fear, that's enough for you to hold you back from blessings, from things, what could have been, and I'm telling you, if you're afraid, it's very difficult to be successful and afraid at the same damn time. You gotta choose a path, and then I'm just letting you guys know that fear is never, bro. We're not, put it like this: we were not born into this world to be in fear, bro. To live in fear. There's so many things that have not played out, but you believe it will because you're reacting to, the what if, and it hasn't happened. So why I say this is that uh some of you may be inferior or you're afraid because I've seen this happen so many times where people are like petrified, inferior, it could be anything that a person can be inferior to where I remember like the funniest thing is most of the orders that I take on my job, they go way out to the suburbs, boonies. I don't give a damn. I would go deep, deep within the suburbs. I don't give a shit. Money is money. But not everybody think like me. See, because of fear. Some people have that threshold where, oh, if I'm the only one. Oh, if I'm the only one, I don't want to go. I don't want to go down that zone. Man, listen, I got relatives in Louisiana, bro, and they told me like, bro, it ain't nothing with how it is like in my city. Oh, it is really, really cutthroat down in Louisiana. But here's the thing: establish yourself. See, listen, bro, you could be around the most like it could be folks that's just racist, just crazy, like. But I'm gonna tell you the difference though. The difference is if you talk to somebody and you establish yourself by introducing yourself, waving, even if they do not like you, even if they don't really f with your kind, bro. If you literally acknowledge somebody, they'll remember you. And guess what that does? Familiarity, bro. They get comfortable. Oh, I've seen you before. See, they get used to you because you're not foreign anymore. Oh, you come around often. Boom. That lowers people's defenses regarding fear. See? Because listen, everything can be based off of fear. You're afraid because you've seen somebody with that same hat, them glasses, do some crazy shit on TV. So now you're like, oh, I don't know, stay away from that. Hey, don't have him on, you know. And it's like, bro, that's fear, bro. Because did it happen to you? No. Oh, you seen it happen on TV or the news, bro. That's everybody's different. We're all are not the same, bro. So the thing is I'm never gonna be thinking about, oh yeah, because I better not go too far out. If it's my time, it's my time. And I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing. You can you can you can have your last breath in a place where you were comfortable. It's cold blooded. See, you can look at a situation where you didn't think something was gonna jump off and something didn't jump off. It was just a mere accident or just something, God forbid. You like, damn, wasn't even afraid, and something still, could take you out to where it ain't gotta be about fear. But this is all I'm trying to why I'm saying is that don't let circumstances or situations hold you back. You see what I'm saying? Or just make you, just clam up because something is challenging you to step out of your comfort zone. See, because I'm telling you, if like who do you think will manifest the most, receive, what I'm saying, bigger blessings is the bird that go out there and fly. That's not afraid to fly. See? Learn. So this is me. I travel and I drive. See? Yeah, I don't really take flights. So I drive because I be wanting to know, okay, how, man, I done drive to Rockford, Illinois, Chicago by myself. Just, just, maybe it's the Sagittarius stellium, but man, I just took off and just went out of town, drove to Indiana for no reason, just because I want to just see what's out there. It's like you never gonna be able to really find out shit, no shit, if you're afraid to even fly. The craziest thing is I'll never forget this. So I remember back then, it was a person, like I say, he didn't look like me, but this man knew all about computers and all that, that good stuff. And could you imagine if you have fear, you would never know things, bro, because you gotta be able to communicate with somebody that don't look like you, bro. They can be just can have that secret information that you've been looking for all your life. And you like, damn, what if I never even would have talked to him because he didn't look like me? You would have missed that whole opportunity with the just learning something. Like, that's why you can't judge, bro. Like, cause somebody can literally have the answers you need, but you haven't unlocked that door and walked through it. You kept that door locked. So now you're limited on, to the knowledge you get because you're afraid to venture out and talk to somebody that doesn't look like you. It's cold blooded. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't always like this, but I challenged myself because of, see, this is the thing. When you have fears, you must face them. See, if you don't like people, start talking to people even more. If you don't like to talk in front of people, start talking in front of people even more. Hell, and guess what? Challenge yourself and take a job where it forces you to talk to people. Because I'm telling you, all these things can make you have a disadvantage. See? And I'm talking about at the end of the day, because what would it be like for you to be limited and then all of a sudden, boom, you don't have certain advantages because you're afraid to do certain things. Like me, I used to have a fear of walking into a yard and then someone's dog come out, right? I got to a point where it's like, look, if they have a dog, they just have a damn dog. I'm not running. Nope. I'm just gonna do what I have to do. And hey, maybe I'll get to meet their dog. That's just how I see it because there's no point to have the fear. See, you have fear, it causes more problems. Then you get bit. Then you get, things happen, that you were not expecting to happen because of the reaction triggers reactions, bro. That's what happens. Reactions trigger reactions. So if a guy jumps your fence in your backyard, right? And he doesn't look like you. And let's say he lives a block down from you. And you don't know. You just see a dude that don't look like you jump your fence. And you were like, oh, you're feeling like Amber Fudd. You go grab your gun and boom, 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 and you shoot the dude because you ain't never seen him before. And you like, oh shit, he lived down the street. Like, see how you just quick to judge. You see somebody that don't look like you, and now you going to what's the name? Now you going to jail because the fear caused you to do something that you weren't even planning to do. See how fear makes it, your reaction creates reactions. It's like we call this starting shit. That didn't even have to happen, bro. Now it's a difference. If he come to your house, then what do you hear? Obviously, he didn't come through the front door. But it's just sometimes, even if he did jump the fence, yeah, I would, talk to him. Don't jump my fence. Do, 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 do. I don't care if you stay down the street. Don't jump my fence, dude. But it's like the fear is what I'm basically getting at. Is that you don't want to have fear of anything, bro, because you could be scared. I'm telling you, I know grown men that are afraid to approach women, but they want a girlfriend, but they can't get one because that fear is a fence. See, the fear is almost like a barricade. So it keeps you from getting what you want. In other words, that's the simplest way to put it. And the thing about it is, in order to be bold and confident, you got to step out of yourself, your comfort zone. It's like you got to do things that you probably wouldn't want to do. Face things like me. I always say, step into the fire. See, because the fire, it molds you. And it's like, if you're not challenged in life, bro, then you will start to, become stagnant. You start coming at a standstill. And you never want to be in a situation where, oh, you're comfortable. See, no, if you're not being challenged, then it's not gonna be a good, good thing for you. So whenever you feel that pressure, you like, yo, this is different. I'm not used to this. That's a good thing. Because now it's like, okay, now you learning something, you're actually challenging yourself, and then boom. And my testimony is the same thing. I did this job that I had no experience of doing, and I didn't like to talk. I was a typical Pisces, didn't like to talk, like to be introverted most of the time. And then bam, took that job. Access control, dealing with people, giving them access to, doors and dealing with contractors all day. So that requires you to talk. So, man, and you got to do computer work for half the job. So the craziest thing is I'm literally sitting there, and mind you, the worst thing that happened is the damn trainer was a damn Aquarius, bro. And he was hard on me, bro. When I first, not to get nobody to feel sorry for me, but this man was hard on me, bro, to the point where he wouldn't cut me no slack, fam. And he was like, "Oh, if it's too much for you, we could always transfer you to another site." So he was quick to like get rid of my ass if couldn't catch on or I felt like something was difficult. But I told him, I said I like, and I didn't even know why I was saying this. When he said that to me, I said, "No, no, I like to get myself into the fire, because when the type of job that I had, you had to run it. See, you had to run the shift." It wasn't no help. It wasn't no go to this person. You had to sit in front of the damn driver's seat of the security office, and you had to literally sit on the computer. They got phones, and you got to multitask. So you got to let truckers in through the gate, and you got to verify that they actually, what type of load they have. And it was just like, that's one part of the job. Then you had to check the CCTVs and employees and make sure they actually work there. It's a lot of verifying. So it's really a complex type of job. But the crazy thing was, what started off as being a challenge, I got good at it, and it wasn't a challenge no more. See, and that's when my ass got fired. See, anytime you master something, if it's not your own craft, people are going to uh kick you to, they're gonna knock you down because it's not your craft. You didn't start it, you didn't build it. And if you become better at something that someone else created, oh, they're gonna knock your ass down, bro. See, it ain't just the 48 laws of power. It's just that when it comes to, if you do something better than someone that's of a higher status, or has a higher position, they're gonna fire you, bro. It never changed. It's the same thing, bro. Cause that's the thing. Like, let's say, someone has seniority. They've been working at a job for years, 40 plus. Boom, you come on the scene and you outperform the dude that's been there 40 years. Oh, he gonna try to get rid of you, bro. Cause he don't want you taking his job, or he doesn't want, to seem small when you're around. See? So the whole key is, you got to be careful. Now that you put yourself in a situation that, oh, there's a bunch of people that been here for a long time, and it's like, that's how you got to understand. They look at that situation as, theirs, when they've been there for a long time. Now, there was a dude that went AWOL at one of the, I think it was the uh, brewery, little facility. It's like a brewery thing. They make beer or whatnot, okay? Like a little factory, right? This dude had been working there for a long time, right? And he was almost about to get his retirement, and then they fired him, bro. And this man was so freaking mad because they were already effing with him. That's why I said, you must always leave a situation that is not serving you. Don't, you gotta leave. You can't wait for it to, leave you. You can't give it time to to kick you, end it with you. Because, like I say, it could be a major disappointment. So this man, he was just about to get his retirement, and they fired him. They fired him. This man was so pissed. Do you know this man went to his car? He grabbed a gun, and he shot the dude. He shot the manager dude that fired him. Boom, and he just started shooting everybody that was giving him a hard time. Just cause he didn't get his retirement, bro. They played him out of his retirement. And they knew he was about to get it. And that's even worse. See? So that's why I tell people, like, even in companies, you have to be very careful, with with the dynamic situation to it. Um, and it's just the thing, like, if you outshine the master, or someone that, like I say, that's considered the honcho, you always, in every single dynamic, you will always be dethroned every time, unless it's your own business, your own craft, unless you started it. See? So it's like, when you master somebody else's idea, oh, because I'm gonna tell you, the confirmation and the manifestation of you mastering someone else's craft shows that you can have your own. See? So it automatically blesses you and pushes you into ownership. But a lot of people don't see, they miss the whole, lesson behind it. They think, oh, this person just did this and then that's it. Like, nah. If you if you master someone else's thing and they let you go, it was meant for you to start your own. See, that's how. And it's not. Sometimes you might think, oh, you might not see it like that, but then when you have your own, you wonder why you're so successful, or you've been doing it for so long. See, that means it was supposed to happen. Now, with fear, see, I'm gonna tell you the root of fear is it's embedded in rejection. Okay, so that's why a man is afraid to approach a woman. See, because of the rejection. Some people look at rejection as being the final, like they look at it as being final, permanent, to where if they get rejected, they feel like, oh, not good enough. They feel, not attractive enough, or you're just handsome enough, or whatever it may be. But remember, rejection is how you see yourself. See, that's your own self-esteem, your own um it's like how you feel about yourself. No, see, the funny thing is nobody can reject you. See, they tell you no because they don't want to talk to you. See, but that doesn't mean it was because, oh, of how you looked. They probably just operated out of fear and told you no so they wouldn't have to sit there and face it. See, sometimes you get rejected because a person is not ready. They probably wasn't ready to talk to anyone. They probably were caught off guard. They probably was nervous. No doesn't always mean, oh, because you're not this, you're not that. See? So you end up telling yourself, oh, it's because my nose is big. Oh, it's because I got two teeth. Oh, it's because I have a gap. So you reflect off of your own insecurities. See? So that's why you take rejection so strongly. But if you have an abundance mindset to where you look at a situation like, okay, if I lose one, I would always what? Obtain more. See? Because this is what I look at. Not just women, and it's not like being a womanizer or whatnot, but it's just the whole abundance mindset. Is to look at this analogy that women are like buses. If you miss one bus, you're gonna catch one. You'll catch the next one. The next one is always coming, bro. But you gotta be ready. See, because if you ain't waiting for the bus to come, you're gonna miss it. See? And a lot of people, they don't look at women as being, of quantity. They look at just one woman and them approaching one woman and getting rejected by that one woman when there's so many more you could be trying to catch, like Pokemon. You could literally look at like, damn, I got unlimited phone contacts in my phone. So how much space do I have for more women? Abundance mindset means unlimited. So I'm gonna tell you, if you men out there struggle with this, I'm gonna literally tell you this. If you have a fear of approaching a woman, that means you need to be out there approaching more. You gotta get into the fire, bro. You gotta go out there, introduce, hey, how you doing, ma'am, or whoever it is, you need to talk. See, when you go out there and you start talking more, that's going to make you more confident, more comfortable speaking to people that you don't know. And guess what? Rejection is not the final answer, bro. I'm gonna tell you a crazy story. I I got rejected by this one female, right? Boom. And she wasn't feeling me, bro. And then she forgot who I was. It's cold blooded. See, she forgot who I was. And then I ended up clapping them cheeks. And she didn't even know it was the same dude. That just show you right there that people don't remember who they reject. That's why rejection is an illusion, bro. It's an illusion because you think it's you. Oh, they rejected me because it was because of me. My nose is huge and oh my whatever. No, they rejected you because they didn't have anything to say. It's always a cover up, bro. Like if you look at the street signs and it say caution, it don't tell you to be cautious. It tells you to hey take caution for something, but it's not specifically telling you what to be cautious about. So it's like, oh, you just look at it as a signal. So boom, somebody reject you, it's like, okay, something is going on. It's not saying that it's me. She can have a man, she can have a husband, she could be uh separated, she might be uh into women. That's just a sign that okay, I'm not available. But it doesn't mean that the answer is no. Now if she tell you no, then okay. But that's her. It's still 100 more out there. You see what I'm saying? You got to think, okay, she tell me no, it's five more. It's a one in aisle 20, one in aisle 15. I got so many more. Cause I'm telling you, listen, you if you go out there and I beg, hey, I challenge you. I challenge you men out there. If you talk to 50 women, I guarantee you out of 50, you at least get like 10, 12 numbers on the low scale. See, you might get more. But on the low scale, you going to get 10 out of them 100 that you approach. And guess what? You ain't even got to look like me. You ain't got to look like, hey, because looks don't mean nothing, bro. It's an illusion. The illusion is that you think, oh, that it's a such thing as being handsome and pretty and beautiful. And, bro, ain't nobody thinking about how it look, bro. Because age is what? Age is a number, fam. It just is like I say, it's just a number. So if you got the number what 18, that just means how many years you've been living on the earth, bro. That ain't saying that is gonna determine how you gonna look in 18 more years. Obviously, you're gonna be what of age. So you're gonna look it. If people really cared about how you look, bro, that mean that they're cooked, bro. They're in the illusion, bro, of thinking that that's something to be worried about, thinking about. Remember, I said overthinking. When you think it's about looks, it's not about looks, bro. It never was about looks. Cause a woman, I'm telling you, she can get with a dude, and he might not look like nothing that she finds attractive. But guess what? I guarantee you, if you got a job, a career, if you got your shit together, that changes everything. I seen, man, listen, bro. Now, I will say you got to take care of yourself. I'm not saying be like, oh, go without and you're going to get it, No, I'm saying you don't have to be James Bond Jr. You don't have to be these fancy dancies, but what I'm telling you is that you gotta have charisma, you have to have the approach, and all it is like I say, it's all on how you conduct yourself. See? But how you behave is a reflection of you, your personality. See? So what I say is to approach, bro, because you never know. You could literally sit there and be talking to somebody and don't even know what you're talking about with them. And then all of a sudden, they like you. And then it's just like shit. It's like playing in the sandbox with if you was a youngin and you was playing in the sandbox with a girl, you'd be like, well, damn, we was just having so much fun together, doing absolutely nothing. See? Because y'all were talking. Yo, you guys were communicating. That's why that led up to that. Cause how could you say, "Oh yeah, I met a friend"? If you were young, if you were younger and you said, "Oh, I met a friend," how could you even go back to that memory without a conversation? Well, what did the friend? What were you guys talking about? What were we talking about? Oh, this and this and this and this and this and this. Oh, okay. So I guess you done found a friend because you got somebody to talk to. That's it. I'm telling you, bro. Listen, if you, because you have to do this because if you get with a woman and you realize that she's not talkative, now you can go back to the drawing board and say, I don't want that. If you don't want that, then you got to look for something you want. Okay, well, shit, I don't want nobody that can't hold a conversation. So now I know the one that's chatty, that's the one I want to get. See, because you don't like everybody, that's how you end up finding out what you want by going out there shopping. So you gotta go shop for what you want. Not telling you to be a trick. I'm saying you gotta go out there and get to know folks. And then once they start to converse with you, and then you be like, oh, then you start to be like, okay, nah, I don't want this, or no, I'm good on this. It's just that's just the situation. But we were born to be social, bro. At the end of the day, everything is about socializing. Everything's about spending time together. But if you think it's looks, that's high school shit, bro. To where, bro, ain't nobody gonna look the same if they were 18 to 34. They gonna change, bro. It just is what it is. He said, "Oh well, thanks for coming out, Tander. Yeah, one thing about my lives, they be super long, but I feel like the connection and the energy or whatnot. Try to give more content. So even though I got off topic, but yeah, that's what I do, what I tend to do. So it's a lot of yapping involved, but it all goes into the mood. It goes into the vibe. So anyway, appreciate y'all coming out. Now, um, another thing is if a Pisces is more relaxed, people will assume that maybe they've changed. So that's something to look out for. Um, if a Pisces become drunk or just put it like they don't have to be drunk to let loose, but when they finally do let loose, they will be more expressive. See? So sometimes if a Pisces been sitting on something they've been wanting to say for a long time, that could come out. See? Because whatever has been bottled up, see, will run over. So all that, anything that Pisces sitting on and hasn't, spoke about, boom, they'll be more expressive about it. See? So it could be a situation where the Pisces just wants to, show appreciation to a friend. And all of a sudden, once a Pisces let loose, now they want to be expressive of how they feel, to about that friend. So it's like, oh, they can go from, 0 to 100 real quick. But at the same time, if the vibe is there, the Pisces can go from that whole relaxed setting and see, and that can allow them to express their emotions more freely. Now, one thing about it is, see, Pisces tend to laugh harder when they let loose because one thing about letting loose requires a Pisces to dissolve all boundaries. See, so there's nothing for the Pisces to feel like they shouldn't do something or say something because now it feels the vibe has allowed me or given me the right to do so. So the Pisces can become the funniest person in the room. See, all due to comfort. And see, one thing about comfort for a Pisces is that it brings out the Pisces personality. That's why I tell people if you make people comfortable, not just about zodiac sign. If you make somebody feel comfortable, you find out their true personality. It's cold blooded. Cause when a person not comfortable, they never show the real them, bro. See, because nobody wants to. That's a put it like that. It's vulnerable for them to be like, oh, such and such, such and such. But not a lot of people like to uh express, you know, the mere fact of them, being uncomfortable to someone else. They don't want to talk about it. So because people don't want to appear, to be weak in front of others. Now, another thing is a Pisces, like I say, that's comfortable can be remembered as someone fun to hang around. Uh Pisces become more social. So if a Pisces is normally introverted yet quiet, but I'm gonna tell you something. If a Pisces get around trusted people, they'll join every conversation. See, if they trust you, they open up more to you anyway. Now, even here's the thing that changes. See, is that when a Pisces feel comfortable, guess what else changes? The crowds. See, we were just speaking about this, that the crowds change because then a Pisces go from, once they start off quiet, boom, they go to, expressing themselves, becoming more social. They start talking to everybody that is what? At the gathering. So it could be people sitting at the party, the get together, the cookout. Then all of a sudden, the same Pisces, as other people perceive them, oh, that's the same dude or girl or lady that was in the corner all day. Oh, damn. So they must be feeling excited. Oh, they must be having a good time. Maybe they're enjoying themselves. So now they've came out of their shell or they've came out of their hiding spot. So, that's the way people may, say it. But people are definitely surprised when Pisces comes out from hiding in that corner. So we could look at this as being the mere fact because their confidence. See, so once a Pisces come out of that situation, boom, of being quiet, the confidence sets in, and that allows the Pisces to enjoy themselves more. See, and also shows their personality. Now, another thing that comes out with Pisces is they begin to, show more affection, and they do this openly. So here a Pisces can tell, a person, hey, that they care about them instead of assuming that the person already knows. So this could go from the Pisces, simply being more affectionate, where they may start to, hug friends more or just giving, genuine compliments altogether. So sometimes it could be because the Pisces just simply feel secure. See, and that allows them to express, themselves with that warmth feeling. So that is what tends to captivate others. See, because it's like I've seen Pisces like this where they're very warm-hearted to where, and you always feel like, is it the mood? Is it, oh, are you in a good mood, Pisces? Where, oh, now you feel a little bit more warm. You see, and I'm gonna tell you it's true because if you catch a Pisces in a good mood, it's like they treat you different. See, when they're comfortable, they talk different. Their whole tone, their whole vibe changes. So that's how you are able to gauge the relationship because at that moment it feels stronger. See, because now it's funny because you can't. I'm gonna tell you a secret. If a Pisces ain't comfortable and they don't feel like this or what I'm mentioning, oh, they not. They're gonna do the complete opposite. See, now and here's the thing, the misconception. People think that Pisces are quiet, but like I say, once they let loose and they drop their guard, they're a whole different personality. Now, another thing is this, okay? So when a Pisces lets their guard down, They smile more. See, because now they feel safe. And that's the difference. A Pisces, if a Pisces feel unsafe, oh, it's a whole different vibe. And see, a Pisces, they become natural funny when they are, when they let loose, when they let the, put their guard down, they stop filtering, every word. That's why I said they dissolve all boundaries. They're not holding back at this point. See, they're not all covered up. So now they start to show their emotions freely. It's like, oh, if they're excited, they show it. If they, are happy to see you, they really show it. See, it's like instead of not saying anything, next to they become more playful. Um, Pisces, they'll start telling, cracking jokes. They start conversations instead of just waiting for, someone else to start a conversation. They can you know, sing along. They can, start to listen to music that they may enjoy, but now they don't feel embarrassed about it to actually sing those songs in front of friends. So I've seen this happen where a Pisces will, use a external speaker or one of those big, huge, like little speaker boxes things where you could Bluetooth it to your phone and then listen to music. And usually when a Pisces is in that type of have let their guard down and they're feeling more comfortable, they start to listen to their favorite songs in the house, changing, especially Pisces women, they can like change their clothes. If they're trying on different outfits, they can have music going. And that's the funniest thing when you witness this, because you can see the Pisces woman looking in the mirror and trying on different outfits and then playing the music and doing little stuff like, you know, trying to show like, especially if a Pisces woman is going on a date, she's gonna like reenact the date before she actually steps out. She's gonna put on different outfits and she's gonna try to find that one outfit that, that fits the occasion with who she's going on a date with, if that makes sense. Now, another thing is a Pisces that has let their, guard down and feels like letting loose and feels more comfortable. They can reveal their hidden talents. They become more adventurous. And then the crazy thing about it is they start to show all the traits of all the zodiac signs. That's the power in a Pisces being comfortable. They start to reveal all 12 versions to where they're all happening at one time, because one thing about a Pisces that doesn't feel comfortable letting their guard down, aka dissolving all boundaries, is the fact that, oh, they're gonna hide all these versions from you. Ain't gonna know that the Pisces was even talented because they're not gonna say anything. So, like I said, you could even see the Pisces laughing at their own jokes, laughing at themselves. So as they reflect, they can also mirror themselves. That's why they're able to laugh at their own, their own theatrics or their own jokes. Now, a Pisces can become more spontaneous. Like I say, they can enjoy the moment instead of overthinking things. They can share their dreams more freely. They open up emotionally. They become surprisingly outgoing. So that's the thing. You might find out that, oh, the Pisces likes to travel or to do something that they never told you before because now they feel comfortable. See, and here's the number one secret. When a Pisces has dissolved all boundaries, meaning they have, allowed themselves to express themselves, more freely, become more open. Now they're easier to read at this moment. See, they're easier to read because now there's no boundary. See, when the boundary is there, it keeps the Pisces from trusting you. See, because, oh, I don't feel comfortable with what you're showing me because do I really know that what you're showing me is real, is the real you? See? So sometimes a Pisces has to feel like they have to put you through a process. Like they have to verify that whatever you're currently doing in front of them, is this the real you? See? Because I'm going to tell you, a Pisces will not go along with nothing, open up easy until they trust you first. See, once they trust you, they dissolve the boundary because they merge. They'll merge with you. Once they trust you, they merge with you. So now they will treat you as their equal. Because I'm gonna tell you, and here's the thing: what you have to watch out for when a Pisces merges with you without, your permission or letting you know first in advance, is because now the Pisces that merge with you could feel like, oh, you know, what's yours is mine. What mine is yours, to where we share everything. And now, because there's no boundaries, the Pisces can assume that, oh, I can have a piece of something that is personal to you, meaning your girlfriend, your wife, things that, oh, you got something going on that's, sacred, spiritual. But now, because the Pisces has merged with you, now they feel like, oh, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. And like they have their hands in anything that you have that you have your hands into, that they have a piece of it too. See? And that's like, nah, see, we cool, but we ain't you can't be, you know, overstepping and doing, crazy stuff. But when the Pisces look at you as being a friend, sometimes they can create these type of situations that are not realistic, to where it's like, oh well, oh, you're my friend, so now, we got to take each other to work every day, or hey, I got to use your car to get, to work tomorrow. And you're like, yo, then what am I going to drive? And the person is like, well, we're friends and you're my boy. And it's like, nah, bro, you can't be driving my car. Nah, bro, I don't do that one. And then that can cause problems. Now, another thing is that a Pisces can laugh until they cry. It could be in those vulnerable moments where the Pisces feel more comfortable. Um, they can end up sharing their childhood memories, or how things used to be when back in the day. Um, they become more protective of friends. They can become the peacemaker. They can stop hiding their emotions. Appreciate the gift. Let me see, Marlon. Appreciate that. Let's appreciate the thumbs up. Jackie, hey. Um, Another thing is the Pisces becomes easier to approach. See, once they dissolve all boundaries, because there's nothing there to block the Pisces from what opening up to you. Because one thing is that sets in, and when we look at boundaries for a Pisces, is nothing more than an illusion. See, until the Pisces trusts you is when they take the illusion away. See, because as long as the illusion is there, you assume that the Pisces is one way when the Pisces is really not like what you think they are. See, because they don't fully trust you yet. So Pisces can literally give you 50-50 rubies, or 50% of who they are. See, because oh, shown you haven't shown trust, or shown any type of loyalty within your personality for me to feel like I got, to take the risk of giving you a full 100% trust up front. Now, another thing is that a Pisces can become more expressive with their body language. They can hug people more often, show more love. Um, they become more competitive during, playing games with, board games, video games with, others or friends. They can enjoy those deep conversations like late at night, like we're doing. Uh, and see, if the Pisces gets to this point, this creates a hyper awareness within the Pisces, because now the Pisces notices more, see, of what you can't see. So the Pisces notices when someone, feels left out. Like, let's say a Pisces is excited, they're sharing with everyone, but then all of a sudden, someone that's sitting in the corner is like, oh, they're out of network. They're out of the situation. The Pisces could pick up on that and be like, oh, this person feeling some type of way. Maybe they feel left out. Now, Pisces can become generous. They can encourage people to chase their goals at this point. They can become everyone's, healer, supporter. They become more forgiving, more grateful, more appreciative of the small moments or the small wins, and they stop worrying about perfection. See, they begin to enjoy, the present moment versus, the whole long haul. They can enjoy, making people laugh. They become more creative. They become storytellers. They can become more patient, and they may notice the beauty in ordinary things. Now, they could also become more affectionate with family. See, they could become more encouraging, more curious, more confident, with sharing their opinions. Because one thing about a Pisces that doesn't feel comfortable enough, they don't share any, like when it comes to how they feel about certain things, they're not going to talk about it. See, now a Pisces can become more open-minded. Uh, and here's the thing, believe it or not, a Pisces at this moment, they stop second guessing themselves. See, once they reach this point, they can become better listeners. They can stay calm during the chaos. They can become more accepting of change. They can value the peace over drama. So the craziest thing is that see, when a Pisces feels free, feels comfortable, trusts you, they realize they don't gotta defend themselves. See, as you look at all the other zodiac signs, they all have different, features, different, um, you know, when it comes to Cancer, the depiction of, the crab having a tough outer shell. But Pisces is different because the illusion is drawn to protect the Pisces. See, because you don't have the full 100% of the Pisces. So that half is almost like, oh, you could be left with that. That's for you to take home. See, it's like half until I fully trust you, then you get the full 100% of me. But see, until until I feel comfortable enough to not feel like I have to defend myself, that's the situation. See, so the thing about it, what protects the Pisces is the boundary, and see, what causes the boundary is the illusion. That's why people can do something, Pisces, and not know that, hey, this was a situation that you didn't, that you didn't like, you didn't want to happen, and it was just totally, unacceptable to the point where your boundaries are not easily seen by others. See, because people can look at you and see your empathy and see your gifts and see, oh, your love and your compassion. But what they don't see is the illusion that you can behave like that if you want to, not because you have to. See, and that's 50%. 50% is I can be an asshole. I can be something that you do not want, something you hate. I can represent everything you hate, or I can represent everything you love. See, to where a Pisces can be a friend or they can be a complete just douche, to where everything is all within how they feel about you. See? So the thing about it is people think that, oh, when they focus on one thing, they only want to focus on what they want out of the Pisces. Oh, you're compassionate, oh, you're compassionate, oh, you're this and this and this, you're a great supporter. But those are things that that person desire from the Pisces, but they try to make it seem like, oh, that's something they like in you. But like I say, you don't get the full throttle, the full 100% unless that Pisces trusts you. But I'm just letting you guys know that the vibe changes everything. the vibe. See, so if a Pisces go into a situation and the vibe feels off, the whole entire plan is off. See, because a vibe shows your real energy. See, it shows what what to be expected. It's almost like if everybody's down in the dumps, a Pisces gonna pick up on that. But let's say there's supposed to be a birthday party, but everybody seems depressed. No one's excited. The Pisces is gonna say, this ain't gonna be the type of party that everybody else thinks is gonna be. Because look at the energy. It doesn't match the occasion. So that's why I say Pisces is very good at reading energy to where they know when something finna jump off, when something's not. They know when something is real, when something is fake, because they can feel it at what? At 100%. See, that's the thing. One thing about that's why Pisces don't play with how they feel about a situation. They must be 100% to themselves at all times. But that boundary does not get dissolved until the Pisces checks your vibe and see, confirms who you are. So it's almost like showing an ID, see, just to get into places. Now, if a Pisces laughs more, jokes more, and just stops overthinking, that's because they feel safe. A Pisces must feel emotionally safe. Now, if a Pisces is quiet around you, see, and that goes with, normally with strangers and whatnot. But here's the thing. If they do it around close friends, see, that tell you something. That why is the Pisces not talking, but he's around his so-called, with his friends. He's with his friends, but he's not talkative. What's going on? Because the Pisces may not feel emotionally safe to speak. See, because a Pisces is still reading the room and checking the temperature of everybody in the environment. So a Pisces can get into a situation where if they don't feel emotionally safe, they're not going to feel comfortable expressing themselves, see, whatsoever. So what tends to happen is people start to try to fill the void, fill the gap, fill the emptiness of the situation. So people can become more what? Observant. People can express around people they trust. So we know that to be true. So that's how you know. That's why they say if someone won't speak to you, 9 times 10, they don't like you, fam. See, they don't feel comfortable to speak to you. See, it's not like something you can just do. So people can say, oh, I never knew you was like this, Pisces. See, because the one thing they went for is they saw a more relaxed version of you to know the difference that, oh, you're not always like this. Now, some people can look at a Pisces and say, oh, you're so serious. See, until the Pisces is comfortable, then the whole situation changes. That's what I said. If the vibe change, the whole situation, the whole plan changes. Now, another thing is a Pisces can stop overthinking every move. So they're not see that, and I'm gonna tell you this. The thing about Pisces is all about change. That's what alchemy does. It changes a situation of how it was supposed to happen. It changes it to a much better situation. But with Virgo, it's all about perfection. See, it's all about perfection. So it's not bound to accepting mistakes. See, it's more about order, practicality, structure. So that's the whole difference there. So here's the thing. That's why people feel less judged by Pisces and more judged by Virgo, bro. See, because with Pisces is more like a cup half full of water. See, obviously it started off as a full cup, but obviously if someone were thirsty and they drank half a cup and they left half of it, they drank half of the full cup and there's half left, boom. It's like it just shows you that okay, a person will get with a Pisces and get just enough, see, to of what they need from the Pisces, and then all of a sudden they don't even finish the rest. See, because the Pisces didn't give them the full cup to begin with, bro. But you thinking that you getting everything easy and you're not. You're not, bro. That's the thing. See, the illusion traps you into those assumptions, bro, and opinions because it keeps you from making the situation more chaotic. See, so that's why the illusion stops you in your tracks. Stops you in your tracks because you assume that you're running the show. You assume you're making something happen. You're not, bro. See, because you can't control Pisces. You just can't, bro. Now, another thing is, whenever your anxiety goes down, people oftentimes participate more. See, you and your reaction to a situation controls the whole, or I should say, influences the whole room. See, so when soon as everybody feels comfortable, anxiety says, "Oh hell no," and steps out of the damn room. See, or runs out the room. Now, another thing is, when a when a person feels less judged, this also reduces the self consciousness. So the thing about it is, if a person allowed you to feel free and be free in your thoughts and just be who you are, boom, all of a sudden the world would be a better place. The reason why people behave the way that they do is because of the whole feeling judged, the fear of being judged to where, oh, how other people are gonna look at this. And that's why I say the fear of being judged, what does it create? Anxiety, bro. Anxiety because a person knows they're not perfect at the end of the day. Now, a Pisces, they will leave memories. Virgo will leave regrets. See, because regrets is almost like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have done this, but I did it. See? And then that goes into that perfection mindset that, oh, you're tainted if you do any, make any slips or falls. But it's like, what is the whole reality of the situation? You see? You can't look at it like that. Now, um, another thing is that let me see here. Let me see. Okay, so I just had it here. Let me see what I put down. Okay, so anybody got any questions or anything? I'm looking. Okay, so um, I know y'all hear those birds, but it's going on almost 5 a.m. You guys. So the bird, that's another thing too. You wonder why the birds wake up before the actual, before humans wake up. You know, and see, people don't understand this. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. Now, I was being a douchebag the other day, and and I had some fried chicken, right? And I ate like, every time I buy like fried chicken from the grocery store, I always tend to eat like the leg and the thigh, and then the wings. I'm kind of like good on those, and then the breast. If I don't got that sweet chili, sweet baby Ray sauce, y'all should try it. And it's not a sponsor ship or whatnot. I I just wanted to let you guys know that sweet chili sauce is off the chain. But after I ate the leg and the thigh, I was full. I didn't want no more. So next thing you know, I'm driving. I'm like, yo, this freaking fried chicken box stinks. I gotta throw it out, bro. So I threw it out the window. Boom. Y'all know what you guys gonna say? Oh, that's Lord. Hey man, you sitting up lit, just putting stuff, spilling trash outside. Now here's the funny part. Don't you know the little gullies from I don't know where they came from, but the gully birds came and literally ate that shit up like it was for them, bro. It's cold blooded. Like, could you imagine the awareness of the freaking gullies? That these birds, they sit on like top of the buildings because it's like the space is out the way and can't nobody see them, get to them, because birds don't like to be sitting or standing in a area where something can be above them, right? Which means something because it's what you can't see. But as soon as I threw the chicken out the window in the box, the birds came, boom. But here's the craziest thing: did he know that that I threw the food outside? That's why I'm trying to, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. That everything is already what in motion, bro. Everything happens for a reason, and it already starts off to what was supposed to happen, like your purpose in life. Because there's no way for that bird to know, damn, he just threw some chicken out the window. It's time to eat. See that? It's like, damn, he must. It's crazy. Like things happen as if it was already meant to happen that way. That's what I'm basically trying to say. So it's like you could be thinking that, oh, you're doing something and you absolutely have no control over why you did that, bro. And I'm gonna tell y'all why do I know, I'm gonna tell you how I know this to be true. Okay, let's say a person commits a crime, boom, right? Then they go to prison. Do you think that that person really made a bad mistake? Or do you think that that was destined? He already was going to do that anyway. See, because everybody got a different purpose in life, and your purpose might not have nothing to do with me. Like, your purpose could be something to do something bad to where you end up doing something bad that lands you in deep, deep trouble. But it's like with me, if I do something right, it's like, oh, that was meant to happen. See? And that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy how a person can ask you for spare change, but then it's like, why didn't it go to these 4 or 5 other people? Because it was predestined. See, when you follow your purpose, it's like, oh, then the people are sent to you for healing and for food or whatever. And you're like, oh damn, why is it always me? Why am I the only one? And and it's like that's your calling. See? Now another thing is this. Okay, so as I mentioned, like the bird situation, like, isn't that crazy? Like the birds get up before anybody. You can hear them chirping around, whatnot, right? But it's like it's crazy because they're obviously communicating, and we'll never know what the hell they're talking about. See, that's why everything just sounds like little squeaky, squeaks, and it's like you don't know what's being said, fam, between the birds. Cause you gotta ask yourself this. Why would the birds just get up there and just start making little weird noises if they didn't understand each other? Cause look, how would they know who's listening? And then what are they communicating? That it's time. What? They're communicating that it's time to wake up. It's crazy because the bird is the representation of the time. See, of like, oh, if it's just early, boom. Now you see that. Cause why wouldn't you not hear the birds when the sun goes down, fam? See, depending on where you at, you probably just see one fly by or whatnot, but you don't get the whole chirps and the extra stuff. So that's why I'm just saying it's just weird how things are, but like people don't understand that the birds do play a part in life. See, because you could be in a situation like I say, everything's about time. Now, Another thing is let me see here. So it was something else I want to talk to y'all about. Um, okay, let me see. I think I have it right. Okay, let me try to see if I can find it real quick. Dang, I'm trying to find. I think it's right here. Hold on, y'all. Trying to find it. Let me see. Let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. It was something else I wanted to show. Give me 1 second. I ain't gonna lie too. Another thing I had that I picked up on too is like when let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. I just had okay. Let me see. What I was gonna say is like you could be like doing one thing and then you realize that damn, you know what message you're trying to deliver, but then it's like the delivery of trying to express it, sometimes you get like a tongue twister from that. Now let me look for my other, let me see. Just had it. I'm gonna have to start using an actual a calendar situation because this is like, okay, I think I know where I'm at now. Okay, so let me see. All right, so did I? No, I didn't. Okay, so yeah, you guys, I gotta find out where I left off, but yeah, smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I love y'all. Thanks for watching, and tune in for the next one for later today. Thanks for watching.